Okay, welcome. Thanks for being here. My name is Matta.
And yeah, I'm Tincho.
So we are both founders of the Red Guild. And who are we?
We're a small security team coming from Latin America. We do security and education for the public benefit of Ethereum ecosystem. That essentially means that everything that we do is in service of the community, and we do public goods for security.
We basically work as a non-profit, so it means that we do not make that much profit. So and because we don't change for the stuff like we do, we kind of like techno hippies if you want. So where have we? Off script. Where have we been positioning for the past time?
Even if I don't consider myself a techno hippie, even if you do, the Red Guild is positioning itself in we'd say a different kind of place. Most of the security firms in Web3 are actually just talking about Web3. And for us, that distinction between Web2 and Web3 is rather blurry. So we think that security is security, and these days we are seeing kind of lots of security threats coming from many angles. So that distinction is rather unnecessary.
Yeah, it also kind of harms like separating them. So we do many things. We are not going to be speaking about each of the initiatives that we have. You can go to the website, which was actually revamped this week. And there you're going to see different links. You're going to see that we have a blog. We write different articles. We try to be super original and write new content. And what we're doing today is part of what we call the gamified learning experiences that we want to do. So to put everyone a little bit up to date, we're going to show you different scenarios so you understand the current threats. We had a lot, but we had to remove it so we don't make this super long, but you'll get the idea.
Cool. So what do we say that attacks are real? Essentially because only last year, in 2024, the ecosystem lost millions in thefts and users losing just money due to different kind of scams and phishing threats. Many of the slides and statistics that we are going to be showing come from Scam Sniffer, so big shout out to them and their work that they do for the ecosystem.
One of the things that we do is we work and contribute with the Security Alliance. I'm one of the lead of one of the initiatives, but there are other initiatives, such as the example of 911, which is an emergency hotline you can call there 24/7. And they have handled around, I don't know how many right now because this is not up to date, but look the amount of tickets they have handled, and the top one issue of the victims reporting incidents is phishing. So that's amazing.
So let's start walking you through like many different scenarios. Probably you know about phishing emails. If you don't, where have you been living? So this is just one example. You would be invited to an interview with CrowdStrike, supposedly. You click on a link that would take you to a site, and you would actually be end up downloading some malware, and you would be bounced.
By now, you should know or should have realized that if you look for a website inside of Google, you're gonna see like a lot of phishing and phishing websites replicating the original content. So if you are going to, if you are willing to go into a bank, just memorize the domain, the website, or just bookmark it because it's the worst right now. And if you're a lurker on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, you're going to see that if you had posted something remarkably similar to anything inside our ecosystem or blockchain or crypto, you're gonna have these targeted ads a lot. And if you research on them like I do, you're going to have like a search of them. This is unbearable.
And sometimes that's not that easy to realize because sometimes we are seeing compromised accounts that end up posting what you could call ads or like phishing sites or whatever. They are phishing campaigns essentially. So at some point you will see like legitimate accounts but actually posting shit stuff, trying to attack you. So social media is kind of a minefield these days. There are more examples over there. Yeah.
Yeah. The latest one was the phishing that was implanted inside the site of Cointelegraph and CoinMarket. probably you saw it. Yeah, just like 2 weeks ago.
Then if you click on one of those, that will probably take you to a site, which might be more or less sophisticated. But for example, we are seeing sites that just fake wallets. So you would click on a button and that would trigger a fake pop-up, and you might end up putting your private keys or mnemonics into those pop-ups in those sites. We are also seeing, in a different realm, different kind of scenarios, SMS phishing related to crypto. You might get contacted by supposedly a representative from some centralized exchange, for example, saying that you should log into this, or you should do this and that, or you should call this number for support, whatever. They're just trying to social engineer you to get your credentials, access your accounts, and punch you.
If you see down below, and you don't know SageXPT, he actually does a lot of research and analysis on chain, and he realized that within a week, 45 million were extracted by this type of approaches to Coinbase users. And also there are many interviews where you are cited to have a call, and then you get into a meeting, and then you start seeing that the other person has issues, and they convince you to swap to another platform, usually Zoom. And when you open the fake Zoom website, well, actually, you don't know if it's fake at that moment. Sometimes they prompt you to run a command or download something. And the last one is that they use legit Zoom, the Zoom application, but amidst conversation, they change their username, the public username, to Zoom, and they send you a request to allow them to access your computer remotely. And some people are like, oh, Zoom is needed some permissions, I'm just gonna fucking accept it. And then they are totally wrecked.
Sometimes it's not even all malware, right? So sometimes it's just you go into a site, they are trying to make you sign something with your wallet, not a fake wallet, your actual wallet. What we are seeing in the ecosystem is that the most usual signature that you will be asked for is a permit, which essentially is a way that attackers have to make you sign something off chain, not necessarily sending a transaction, and then grabbing that signed data that you actually signed, and use that to drain your wallets.
And if you ever interacted on chain, which probably you did, you always notice that there are a lot of accounts sending transactions to you, sometimes with fake tokens, sometimes with a little bit of money, sometimes just like no value at all. What they are doing usually, there are different attacks, but mainly they are trying to use a similar address to one of you already transferred and trick you into selecting that address. This happens a lot. Well, you can see here some examples. We can talk about this a lot because it's common. So we were speaking about interviews. We are going to speak about the side of the recruiter. So this is a representative chart. There are similar modus operandis. And the ways of distribution of the payloads or the exploits, or if they have a vulnerability, whatever. They even are using containers to leverage exploitation or just infiltration. But you're trying to be recruited at an organization, then you set up a call, everything seems legit. Even that person is legally hired to recruit you, but that person doesn't know that it's trying to make you do a test or a work test that it's backdoor. And then when you run the test, you're done.
Sometimes it's not even people reaching out to you. It's just you looking for a job in crypto. And you might end up in a fake site that is offering supposedly like job listings, and you are just scrolling and let's see what I can work in crypto. There was this site that would actually prompt you to run some commands on your machine, supposedly to set up an interview or just make sure that everything is running smoothly. You would copy that command and they would have like remote code execution on your device.
And like this, we see a lot on the platform where you go to download libraries or whatever the package managers use to help you download whatever you're using as a dependency. A lot. We even did research on Visual Studio Code malicious extensions. So that's a super common way to do it. Now going to the candidates. it doesn't matter when you see this, but there's always a dismantling operation of the DPRK farm where they get to convince, in this among the majority of the cases, they get to convince a U.S. citizen to work for them, and what they do is they send computers, and then they use their home, the farm, those computers to work from there. And just 2 days ago, the FBI showed that they have dismantled another one of these farms.
Yeah, and it's everywhere, right? We could continue talking about this. You probably know all this, but you can go search online, and it's hitting the headlines every day how this IT worker threat is a real thing these days.
Yeah, even a known security company, before had an infiltrated DPRK employee for a long time. So now, from the side of the contributor, and when they try to impersonate good fellows doing the open source work, the most known one is the exit backdoor. I think I didn't sleep for 3 days. It was a rough weekend. But the idea is that a collaborator can put and will put a lot of work into convincing you that it's worth giving that person more access. And as a matter of fact, this was last year, the screenshot of the Twitter post. A person from the community saw that someone was trying to scam them, and saw that the scammer had already committed an ERC, and look through all the effort they go in order to convince you, like, look, I'm doing honest work, I'm legit. And now?
Yeah, having gone through all of these scenarios, examples, real cases, and everything, we wanted to, if you haven't played it yet, to introduce you to the Phishing Dojo. This is the new platform that we have under Red Guild that you can go and log in now. And if you don't want to log in, you can do it anonymously. Preview.phishingdojo.com. If you go to phishingdojo.com, not going to preview, you will be going to the old version. So I recommend you to go to preview.phishingdojo.com. Probably looks better on your laptops than on your mobile phones, but anyway, it's something that we are actually launching today. So you are our first non-paid beta users. So yeah, if you want to, yeah, exactly. So you will be finding different scenarios and cases. In this case, we have like an email client that you will have to identify different phishing emails. Also, we have sites with very lookalike wallets. That's not an actual wallet. That's just a UI that we have put into the dojo. You will never need to install anything, leave the dojo, not anything. It's all embedded. It's all safe to use, but it's all replicating real threats and attacks in the ecosystem. So you will be kind of solving these challenges and hopefully learning something about it. We also have a Block Explorer embedded. Again, not connecting to anything real, not connecting to a testnet. You don't need to sign to install anything. It's just us mimicking Etherscan in this case in a very realistic way, which I'm quite proud of. So yeah, go to preview.phishingdojo.com. This is the workshop. It's supposed to be a workshop, so if you are here, we want you to work. So if you want to go ahead and try to solve it, we will be pleased. We have lots of swag, so if you kind of solve it or don't solve it, but find a remote code execution, we can also give you a t-shirt. Anyway, please go ahead and do it. Recommend it if you like it. So we have plenty of time to work on it if you want to.
Don't hesitate to ask.
Is email verification working?
Should we? Please tell me it is.
Yeah, we have so much privacy that we even ourselves don't log emails.
I didn't get anything.
Could happen. Let's just wait a bit. We actually had like a crew testing everything today, everything, and we haven't pushed any change. If most of you are having an issue, I can just prompt the platform on the screen, and we can all have a look at it.
Also, you should be able to, I mean, if you want to log in, that's great because you will be tracking progress and everything. But there should be a way to do it anonymously too, without having to create an account yet. Explore training.
Is anybody else having issues to? Yes? Yeah. Really? This is the demo god has failed us for the first time in the history of the Red Guild.
I went to training and it opens the core training.
Yes, you have to bypass that. You have to go to training and then training just open suddenly.
Like you go to
Training. Don't click on get started. Just yes and then.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can do it. I mean, that's a feature actually. Okay. No. The idea is that there's a training that you can do. I was telling you, you can do it anonymously. If you want to track progress, you can create an account. But if you want to do it anonymously, you can do it without creating an account. That's not necessary.
It will say to you at a certain point, do you want to save your progress? And then it prompts you to create an account.
Yeah. Otherwise, just go straight to the training. The first challenges are about an email client where you will have to explore, click around, check the senders, check the receivers, check the links. Then you will find in the next challenges malicious sites. You will see a wallet popping up at some point. Then you will see a block explorer where you will have to do some detection of transaction spoofing stuff.
Is the presentation in the redguild.org? Do you have a similar like material there?
No. No. The present. I don't know if we've done something similar like it's recorded. We don't usually record our stuff.
I want the slides away.
No, well, we can make them public if you want. But the slides are just a brief summary of other an entire presentation with more different scenarios. I mean, if you see value in it, it's fine. Actually, this is going to be recorded, so you're going to be able to go through it.
We'll give you some time to solve the first ones, and then we will kind of walk you through how to think about them or what to expect.
I got the email.
Really?
Yeah, just now. Oh, it expired.
Okay, but it's working.
That's another challenge. I don't know why it's working for me. The typical. I just signed up and I just got the email like immediately.
What's the email provider?
We're using.
Don't reveal.
No. That you just signed up with. Like Gmail?
Yeah.
I thought it might be Gmail one.
see many of you using mobile. How was that? How's the experience? We only tested it once.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well, it's not supposed to be using mobile, but we try to be to provide accessibility.
Maybe I can tell you something. Maybe you could put like sometimes the answer comes before all the information. So like in mobile, when you see it like this, sometimes you miss looking at the bottom part of the question where you have like the fake emails or whatever.
So you mean the UI with the fake things should be above?
Si te pide que respondas y dependiendo de la pregunta, maybe you miss looking at this.
No.
Esta pregunta,
Sí.
toda esta información que abajo relevante.
Sí, sí.
El email, qué sé
Sí,
yo.
sí, todos los escenarios están debajo.
Eso es lo que digo, como que, por ejemplo, la pregunta pasada, no sé por qué, maybe brain fart, whatever, ni siquiera vi lo que estaba aquí abajo, como que
No, pero
pensé
no-
que era la siguiente pregunta.
Ah, está bien.
Entonces, lo que digo, o sea, como
claro.
que,
Que cuando cambie el ejercicio pensás sobre el mismo, el anterior.
o sea, como que puedes estar,
Si cliqueaste sin querer arriba.
o sea, como que estás viendo esto y quizás piensas que este es the next question, como que es parte de esa misma pregunta, ¿me entiendes?
Claro.
Porque,
Sí, sí, siempre las preguntas están asociadas con
ya entendí.
When
Te digo
these
como
has
que
to have that,
en el mobile, no, it's not very intuitive.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like where it's actually like totally okay.
Yeah.
How many phones are talking? Oh. I know you can do that with normal dog models.
Ah, okay. Don't do that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, just don't close don't close it. Don't close it. Next question. So the question. It's the same size. Yeah. It refreshes. That's actually what. ¿Te diste cuenta lo que hizo?
Ah.
Si cerrás el hover, eso reemplaza el hover. Si cerrás el hover, perdés el coso. Te arranca la pregunta al principio, ¿viste? Cuando tenés la design y también.
Don't worry, you'll figure it out eventually.
Hopefully you're already learning a few things.
I know, I'm not. They wouldn't do the same thing twice, would they?
Bueno, tengo que echarme el word browser ahí y te vas a un blog más fácil de procesarlo. ¿Me entiendes? Hace un walkthrough. Sí, quédate tranquilo, no. ¿Quieres abrir tu compu y fijarte si se carga un poco de eso, probar?
Sí, o sea, lo probé de la mía, no funciona muy bien.
No importa, pero mostrar las cosas que estamos trabajando. Sí.
I think there's a
We are going to give you 5 more minutes, and then we're going to explain a few things about the roadmap of the Phishing Dojo, because there are so many things currently being implemented and already developed, but are not possible to be viewed right now. So you get an idea of where we are aiming at. But take into account this is a beta, and you're the first beta users to try it with ourselves.
In the meantime, I also let you know, we have already people interested, sharing this with, I don't know, interns or prospective employees or their security teams. We are seeing the Phishing Dojo as this threat simulation platform that you can actually share with peers and your teams to actually educate them, but in very realistic scenarios. We don't want the Phishing Dojo to become that. Yeah.
So that's why I asked if you had the presentation, because I want to send it to some employees, but also some of the threats that they need to be looking for.
Yeah.
As you onboard people.
Yeah.
Not the video, but all of the slides.
Yeah.
Or if you have it in the Red Guild, so we can send them to check it.
Yeah.
I actually was thinking that it could be very good educational material. First, to teach them of what it's out there, and then to test it. And the presentation was good in summarizing that. So if you have, I was looking through the Red Guild, but it just shows the initiatives.
Yeah.
I didn't dive into the documentation or education. Maybe it's there, but if not, but you had, it's really good.
No, this presentation is not there. You won't be finding it. You can reach out to us later, and we can send it to you. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, and I do think that it can be really good for education.
Yeah, particularly we don't want the Phishing Dojo to become. The anti-goal is not to become those kind of security education platforms that you probably use in the corporate world. You have to be clicking stuff. It's very boring. It's just videos and word material, whatever. We want it to be very interactive, very realistic, so that people can get really immersed in the actual technologies.
Yeah, the idea is that it solves the pain point of course, phishing. But if you've done this awareness trainings that you get in the corporate world, even from these known organizations that I won't name, they are tutorials, videos. You get some video call. Maybe if the organization paid for a phishing campaign, you get some phishing emails. But it's like a lottery, and I have 2 different cases that you probably already saw or lived. A person that's congratulated because they didn't fall, but they didn't check any email. So, and then security researchers saying, okay, I think this is a phishing email. I'm just going to spin up my box, completely hardened, only with access to internet to specific things, and just open that link. And then the provider that's doing these services gets a notification saying, okay, this user fell for it. And then a security researcher gets called to do mandatory training. It doesn't make sense. They don't work. So this is not just a platform to do a few challenges. They are safe simulations. Even now, they are launching platforms on exercises similarly, but they prompt you to connect your wallet. So if we teach users to connect stuff and start doing things that are necessary, we are prone to commit mistakes. So the idea is that you get to live experiences as if they were real, but only in super safe scenarios.
I'm going to be out of my comfort zone. We should probably not be doing this because we haven't demoed this, never. So I don't know why I'm doing this, but anyway. When I tell you that we want people to have for the Phishing Dojo to be very powerful tool for you, is that you will not only be able to play challenges. But if you're a team manager, if you're a security, whatever CEO in a company, that you want to actually create your own scenarios for your company, very tailored for your company. And there's a whole part that we are not showing you today, but that it exists and we are paying so much attention to, is that you will be able to create your own quizzes, your own lessons. This is the training that you are seeing today, but these are all the lessons that you have played just yet. So the whole thing is dynamic. The whole thing can be edited. You can create your own quizzes. So I'm gonna do what I shouldn't be doing, which is try to create a new quiz, which could probably fail. But this is kind of just to show you the workflow that you can have at some point, in that you can be creating, let's say, whatever quiz. I'm creating an email quiz, so I should be able to set up the UI and have live previews and everything. So what you have seen in the first scenarios is something that you will be able to build yourself for your team without us needing to do anything from the Red Guild, right? So the whole platform is intended for you to use it, not us. So I should be creating, I'm just going to show you quickly, but you will be able to create an email and you will be able to set up the whole info, who is it coming from, the from email, what's the actual HTML content, what are the headers of that email, and more advanced stuff, right? So, and you will have like live previews in here that you can actually explore right away. And the idea is that we can actually, if I wanted to sell this to you, like I would sell it to IBC, I would tell you that you would have an LLM embedded in here that you can actually prompt and create your own UI automatically without having to click buttons, right? But anyway, yeah, you can continue like adding emails. In this case, we have 2 different emails, and so on and so forth. You can like create the whole scenario for yourself, right? And then you can create obviously the questions and put the prompts of the questions and the right answers and everything. So you can tailor it specifically for your team. And the same, let's see if this actually works. If I exit, I don't know. Yeah, works, perfect. Nice. And as I was telling you, you can have more quizzes, right? So you can create websites, you can create smart contract security stuff. We are working on a new UI that I won't be showing you, but we are replicating the whole GitHub UI so that you can create actually phishing scenarios and threat scenarios in a UI that looks very much like GitHub. Also like blockchain analysis, the thing that you are seeing in the Phishing Dojo, that's actually using blockchain transactions, showing you a block explorer and everything. That's also should be able to be created using this. So you don't need to use what we created. You can do that for your own teams in that way. This is the first time I'm using this. So yeah, okay. So you have a block explorer UI, a preview. We have different ones. You can create an account. You can set transactions, token transfer, and everything, so that you can actually create those kind of scenarios yourself. That's the vision for the Phishing Dojo. It's not just let's share a few like questions with the community and that's it. We actually want to empower managers and bigger companies and bigger teams to set up their whole phishing trainings for your companies, right?
Yeah, what he said.
Was I a good seller?
Yeah. You actually were. I am actually surprised. The entire flow you just did worked out of the box. We haven't tested that thoroughly, and while doing so, you are going to have, if you are a team owner, not only the possibility to create trainings, but also to assign trainings to a specific group of people. You can, if you see the quizzes and scenarios as atomic operations or atomic assets, you can reuse them on different trainings. And also you're going to have a way to see the progress and the track of the people you assign it to. Also, you're going to see it by yourself when you finish it. It show you like a dashboard that seems like a birthday party right now because we just put a lot of colors to it. But it will tell you how much time the user spent, how much time spent on specific scenarios, where they got stuck, where they committed the most mistakes. Well, all the information that we're trying to get our heads on or a grasp of which ones of them are actually useful for a team owner, for example. We have no more minutes. So I will thank you all for coming here to seeing this demo. And I hope you use it in the future, recommend it. And this is going to be one of the first ways that Red Guild is going to try to find an alternative source of funding. We will keep most of the challenges that we create, on all the challenges that we create, open to everyone. But if you want to do this to your own team, you will also want to do it privately. And for that, we are going to offer you a small fee. Thank you very much.
It was nice and great.